camp friend. Rick, you're so good. He's getting y'all set up.
Okay.
This is not working to have it here. I have to have it for my phone, for my hearing aid settings.
And it rings in the. Does it mess up your sound with the phone, or?
I don't know. I don't think it usually doesn't.
Okay.
That was the
Turn that piece of it off. Yeah. So I think we're getting ready.
Yeah, we should get started.
if you hit it here,
It was a wordless one.
That's known as the Mashiach Nigun. And David Zeller, remember the blessing, this is, he introduced us to that.
Yeah. So welcome everyone here. I'm Elizabeth, for those I don't know, and you don't know me. And touched to see everyone. And let's take a few moments to actually just fully arrive. You know, there's a lot of fixing our place and welcome and greeting each other. And we'll go deeper into that, greeting each other. And next to me is Adina and Rick, my beloved, and Amy, and you all. And we'll come to that in a minute. But let's, meantime, just take a moment to really arrive in your spot. The paper is to just refer to in a few minutes. It's not for right now. And see what it's like to allow your tush to meet this chair. And to your feet to meet this floor, this piece of the earth of Adama, in this land. And just noticing as you sit, if there's whatever arises in you, to give yourself a welcome here. Whatever sensations in your body, some are preferred, some not, but just noticing them and being with it, with yourself, with the breath and the rhythm of your breath as it is right now. Nishima, so connected with neshama, the soul. And whether it's a short or a long breath, just noticing how things are for you. State of your mind. And creating a welcome for each other too. So let's just take a moment to look around the room and just acknowledge, maybe even turn to someone, if there's someone you don't know so well, and just to say hello.
Should I invite someone to hold the candles?
Yeah, not quite yet. I'm gonna, So, tonight is Sukkot, and unfortunately there's no heaters out there, and also our friends on Zoom couldn't participate if we're out there for the whole service. So we made a choice, especially when we were looking earlier in the week, it looked like the temperatures were really dropping and we'd be freezing. And I saw somewhere in Halakha that since the whole point of Sukkot is this Zman Simchatenu, to be a time of joy, and that if it's too inclement weather, it's okay to come inside. But we intend to, after, have our Kiddush out there. We have to imagine we're in the Sukkah. And one of the things that happens in the Sukkah, yeah, there are skylights, right? A little more solid than is usual for Sukkot, but you know, where it's this temporary dwelling and reminds us of the openness and fragility and challenge of life and our vulnerability as humans, the impermanence of life, as well as the pleasures. And actually, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, Zichrono Livracha, he spoke about why is it I'll speak about that later. Got a little lost there. But it just, why is it simcha, you know, and the difference between simcha and happiness. And simcha is experiencing those fleeting joys. And by its nature, it is, but that we can almost make a choice to live with gratitude and joy and accept that. So there's another welcome that often is done in the Sukkah, and I think we'll wait until after we have lit the candles.
Yeah. Would someone like to light the candles and give the blessing? Steve, please. Steve and Margie. There are matches there.
Yeah, always go back to the manual system.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, sorry.
Two sticks.
Rubbish.
Wow.
Yay!
That's here for the women.
folks.
So now we've created a little more sacred space. The custom in the Sukkah of inviting guests in, and yes, it's our friends, our neighbors, our family, but it's also, there's a tradition of inviting the ancestors. And would you like, Reb Zev, to say a little more about that, or shall I carry on?
Well, the idea is that our ancestors are present with us.
Yes.
We invite them in, we greet them, we prepare a table for them, and they bring all of our history with them. So that it's not just us doing it.
Yeah. Thank you. And in the sense of those vulnerable times, to have that sense of support. And there's also a custom that's from the Kabbalistic traditions of inviting in Ushpizin, who are the archetypical ancestors, forefathers and foremothers, and particularly in one system, it's the shepherds of Israel. And each one is represented on a different night. And tonight is the day for Tiferet, for the compassion, for the radiance of the heart. And so let's take just a moment, each one of us, to reflect on who we would like to bring in, and knowing that we have this, even behind our personal ancestors, there's these other whole, don't want to say army, cohort of people who are here supporting our life. So who in your life brought compassion to you? Who else might you want to bring into your heart in this moment to support you? And so we're going to say shalom to them, all of them, and the angels of Shabbat. So together, we can all sing together.
Shalom Aleichem, Malechei Hamlech Shaharnei, Malechei Elyon, Bimelech, Malechei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 13. Shalom, Malechei HaShalom, Malechei Elyon, Mimelech, Malechei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu L'Shalom, Malechei HaShalom, Malechei Elyon, Mimelech, Malechei Hamlachim, HaKadosh
So we'll turn to our Psalm 118, right?
Yes.
Yes, for Ze Hayom Asa Adonai.
That is on your sheet. Yes. And this is a psalm, phrasing from Psalm that often we have sung here, I believe, and certainly Gayan brought in a lot. So,
Yeah, so this is the day that Havaya has made. Let's exalt and rejoice in it. Ze hayom asa Adonai, nagila v'nismecha bo. Ze hayom asa Shekhinah, nagila v'nismecha bo. Ze hayom asa Havaya, nagila v'nismecha bo. Ze hayom asa Adonai, nagila v'nismecha bo. Ze hayom asa Adonai, nagila v'nismecha bo. Ze hayom asa Adonai, nagila v'nismecha bo. Hayom asa Adonai, nagila v'nismecha bo. Ze hayom asa Adonai, nagila v'nismecha bo.
sometimes it seems harder to just rejoice. And there's a lot going on in our world right now, in this country, the Middle East, that deeply affects all of us. But it's maybe Dovka in this kind of time that we need to become intentional about finding the joy where we can, and not being so weighed down all the time. We need to build our own resource of inner reserves as well.
Yes, we move into Esa Enai, which is also on your sheet, for those times when you need to think about help coming from somewhere else, drawing strength from the land, from the spirit that is out there beyond, and kind of bringing it in. That's what I like to think about with this. So we can start. Esa Enai el heharim me'ayin yavo esri. Esa Enai el heharim me'ayin yavo esri. Esri me'im Adonai. Ose shamayim va'aretz. Esri me'im Adonai. Ose shamayim va'aretz.
Thank you, Henry, on the drum.
So we'll turn to page 41 for Lecha Dodi. I believe you are leading us, Amy.
Yeah. This is when we get to greet the Sabbath in the form of the bride, with us as the groom. The bride is the Shekinah, the feminine face of God, bringing all blessings. So we'll sing 5 verses. 41. It starts on page 41. Yeah. And then the first, after the refrain, it's the first verse on each page until the last page, and it's both verses. Okay.
Okay. We know this one. We've done this before.
Yeah.
We've done this once or twice. Lecha
Dili Rakala Yadadai 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 B'nei Shabbat L'Kabbalah L'Chadu Dili Rakala Yadadai 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 B'nei Shabbat L'Kabbalah Shamor V'Zachor B'Dibor Echad Ishmianu El Amiuchad Adonai Echad Shemo Echad L'Shem Multiferet V'Litila Chadu Dili Krakala Yadadai 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 B'nei Shabbat L'Kabbalah Chadu Dili Krakala Yadadai 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 B'nei Shabbat L'Kabbalah Likrat Shabbat Lechuven Elcham Ki Kor Havracham Merosh Mikedem Nesucham Sof Maaseh B'Machlecha Kila Chadu Dili Krakala Yadadai 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 B'nei Shabbat L'Kabbalah Chadu Dili Krakala Yadadai 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 B'nei Shabbat L'Kabbalah Hitoreri Kiva Oret Lumi Ori Page 45 Uri Ori Shir Daberi Kivod Adonai Alai Nikla Adonai ta'aritzi Al yadish ben hatzi Benis mecha bena'agila Tudili rakala yadai 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 B'nei Shabbat L'Kabbalah Tudili rakala yadai 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 B'nei Shabbat L'Kabbalah
So this door is open.
Shalom Tikret Bala Dam Vesimcha Uvetzola Tot Tzivne Am Sekula Boi Chala Boi Chala Dili Kakala Yadadai 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 B'nei Shabbat Dili Krakala Yadadai 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 B'nei Shabbat L'Kabbalah
So, some ask, why is Kohelet linked with Sukkot? And teaching from Rabbi Sachs is Zichrono Livracha, is that in Kohelet, Simcha is said 17 times. And in the whole of Torah, the whole of Tanakh, not Tanakh, the whole of the 5 books, it's only 16 times. It's sort of trumped it. And that it's, even though it seems to be about, in the translations we've been given, futility, etc., it's, in his perspective, and Rami Shapiro speaks this as well, it's a misunderstanding and a mistranslation of the word chevel. And Chavi, you may know the Hebrew better, but he talks about that being like dew, about things that are very fleeting, and it doesn't mean necessarily that it's futile, it's just that it passes quickly, it's transient. So, and that's why it's been linked so much with this. And we thought we're going to take a reading tonight from Kohelet.
It's on the back of your sheet.
And it's actually Rabbi Rami Shapiro's interpretive translation. There's also is a copy in your in the book, which is slightly different, but we're going to use this one, and it is on the sheet. And
So we thought it would be lovely to hear different voices as we kind of go through this, thinking about the lines and this sense of the seasons and time passing and changing and coming back around, but always changing, constantly changing. So if we could just go around and let each person read a line.
Yeah. I'm going to grab pass the microphone so that we can,
Thank you, Anita.
that way the Zoomers can hear.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Thank you. The first line, Kohelet 3:1-8.
Go ahead, I'm going to just carry the
Oh, okay, thanks. Everything in this world has its moment, a season of ripening and falling away.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Moments of birthing and moments of dying.
Moments of planting and moments of reaping.
Moments of killing and moments of healing.
Moments of demolition and moments of building.
Moments of weeping and moments of laughing.
Moments of mourning and moments of dancing.
Moments of scattering stones and moments of gathering stones.
Moments of embracing and moments of distance.
Moments of seeking and moments of losing.
Moments of clinging and moments of releasing.
Moments of tearing and moments of mending.
Moments of silence and moments of talking.
Moments of loving and moments of hating.
Moments of warring and moments of peacemaking.
That's the last line. It's so beautiful to hear everybody's voices together. That was just like a weaving of not just the sentiments, but just the sound of our community. So I really appreciate that. And I think we're going to move to page 49 for Tov Lehodot.
So this prayer is about essentially gratitude and thankfulness. So I thought what we would do when we were planning this is that we would begin chanting it, and then open it up for people to speak the things that they feel grateful for on this day.
The moments.
The moments. Tov lehodot l'Adonai uzamer l'shimcha elyon lahiga boker azdeha ve'emunateha ba'elon yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai dai yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai dai yai dai dai yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai dai yai dai 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 yai dai dai yai dai 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 yai dai dai. So let's take a moment, and then we'll come back to the chant and see if anyone wants to just speak out into the group. What are you grateful for in this moment?
These beautiful days of autumn.
Beautiful.
Being out of pain.
Oh, lovely. Anyone else? Safety. Okay.
Health.
Health.
Being able to go out and knock on doors today and meet a few nice people. Beautiful day.
Yes, lovely.
Friends.
Friends. Beautiful.
CBH. Us.
Us. Yeah.
I was going to say, sharing these holidays with this incredible community.
Thank you.
Still being able to vote.
Still being able to vote. And hopefully for many, many more years.
I'm grateful for a new phrasing of this reading from Ecclesiastes. The word moments. I've never seen that. It seems to be a synonym for a time.
Yeah, but it's a
Is
different,
it the
whole
Pete Seeger
different.
phrase that I'm familiar with?
Yeah.
And I wonder if how that choice strikes other people who examine words for that.
His use of the word moment.
Yes, it's just it's a completely different twist. Anyway, it struck me that way.
I'm wondering if we have folks on Zoom, we have a few. Anybody want to share something you're grateful for?
I want to
I
share.
think Susan wanted to share.
I want to
Emily,
share.
Susan?
Susan, you're muted.
No, she's not muted. So we're not hearing you, Susan.
The screen isn't connected.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Try it again.
Is that better?
There, we can hear you now. Go.
Oh, good. I just want to say that I'm grateful that I'm getting better each day, and it's going to get better from here on. And I thank all of y'all prayers for everything. I appreciate it.
Beautiful. We're glad to hear that.
Thanks.
Grateful to hear that too, Susan. All right. Tov lehodot l'Adonai uzamer l'shimcha elyon lahagila boker hazdecha ve'emunatecha ba'elon yai dai 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 yai dai dai yai dai yai dai yai dai dai yai dai dai yai dai dai yai dai yai dai yai dai dai yai dai dai yai dai dai yai dai yai dai yai dai dai yai dai dai yai dai dai yai dai yai dai yai dai
we'll turn to page 55 for the Chatzi Kaddish with Elizabeth leading us.
That's later times, I tagged it all. You did tag it all. Here you go. Yitkadam, Yitkadash, Merabah, Yamad, Yamad, Mamate, Chayom, Yom, Chayim, Chayim, Israel, Hagav, Zman, Amen. Yesh, Merabah, Merabah, Le'olam, Amen, Amen. Yibrach, Yishtabach, Yitar, Yitramam, Yitaseh, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shnei Kusha, Reilu, Le'elam, Nikol, Yirata, Shirata, Tushakata, Nechamata, Tahiram, Yalam, Yimru, Amen.
So we'll now pass into our Ma'ariv service, page 57 with Baruch. Ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da. Baruchu et Adonai. HaMevorach, HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da. Do we stand up? We stay standing. Okay. All right. Just. All right. So we'll turn to page 59, and we were thinking about trying to do the Umavir Yom Umevi Laila melody from Sun Moon Pi. And if anybody wants to help us lead that, we would appreciate it. So
It's not, is it, it's not written here, right?
Umavir Yom Umevi Laila, Umavir Yom Umevi Laila, Umavir Yom Umevi Laila, Umavir Yom Umevi Laila. El Chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv u'ma'ariv aravim. Amen. So we'll turn to page 63. And we'll do the We Are Loved, Loved, Loved. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love. We are loved,
by arms that find us, even when we are, oh, I'm sorry, 61.
Yep,
Yes.
61.
We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. Embraced, supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love.
I know Amy had some commentary on this song, so I want to make sure she can say it.
Yes, non-rabbinic commentary. These songs that we're doing now, We Are Love, the Ahavat Olam, Nechatima, these are all songs about love between the people Israel and our God, however we envision that idea. The Torah specifically is given as a precious gift, not only of wisdom, but with a challenge to wrestle with the complex realities we face, using it as our guide. When we sing Ahavat Olam, that's really what we're saying. We're accepting this gift as a gift of love. Page 61, no, 63.
63.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadata Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shofeinu u'bekumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nishma b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu b'hem neged yomam v'layla yomam v'layla ve'avtecha lo tasor mimenu le'olamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Do we stand for Shema?
Yes.
Yes, we stand for Shema.
Shema.
Well, I will sit back down. Thank you. Stand, sit.
You're right, Chavi.
Thank you. Ve'ahavta, page 65. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levavcha u'b'kol nafshecha u'b'kol me'odecha ve'hayu advarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha v'vlektecha b'derech v'shoftecha v'kumecha v'shartam me'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'ktaftam al mezuzot beitecha v'visharecha. Continue silently for the next few pages, and then we will join it together on page 79. Nora tehilot, oh sefelet, Nora tehilot, oh sefelet, Malechutecha, Rahu vanecha, Okei hayam, Lifnei Moshe, Seli anu v'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar kifata Adonai. This is the wrong v'nemar. My apologies. And I do apologize, that was the wrong V'ne'emar, so I launched myself into the wrong prayer. But it's V'ne'emar kifata Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad chazak b'beinu Baruch ata Adonai ga'al Yisrael.
Lots of room for compassion.
Where are we?
It's around Hashkivenu.
Yes.
Do you want to go ahead and lead?
Hashkivenu. This is the beautiful nighttime song, spreading a canopy of peace. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, page 81. Vetaknenu dvelesha ruba milfanecha, veoshienu. Ufros
Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Vetaknenu ve'etza tova milfanecha. Ve'oshienu. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Vetaknenu ve'etza tova milfanecha. Ve'oshienu.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporez sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Turn to page 85, and Amy will introduce Vishamru.
Although we do have Reb Zev here. Reb Zev, do you want to introduce Veshamru? This is your song.
Vishamru. Read the text of it. It's a legal contract. It is a formal legal contract. God will do this and we will do this. But leave it to the Jewish people to take a legal contract, a dry, boring legal contract, and turn it into a joy song that we can dance to. And, you know, some of you may remember the name of Emma Goldman, anarchist leader in the early 20th century. Emma Goldman said, "If I can't dance, it's not my revolution." And I offer the idea, if I can't dance, it's not my Judaism. So Vishamru is a time to get excited and to, as I say, we take a dry legal contract and turn it into a joy song.
Would you help lead it? And Reb Zev added the woo for that very reason. Yes. And that covenant, that contract also requires us to rest on Shabbat, which is a wonderful thing. That's the law, y'all. So no wonder we whoop. So let's sing it together on page 85. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod ha-Shabbat le'torotam be'rit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod ha-Shabbat le'dorotam be'rit olam. B'nei Israel, B'nei Israel, Odhi le'olam. Veshamru, woo! Israel, et ha-Shabbat, la'asod ha-Shabbat, le'dorotam be'rit olam.
Shabbat vayinafash Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam be'rit olam.
So I learned something in preparing for today, that actually that Brit is repeated right before the Amidah, so that traditional people who will remember to say the right prayers in the Amidah for Shabbat. Is that right? Yeah. I thought, why is it there? Why not somewhere else in the order? Okay. So we come to the
Amidah on Shabbat is different from what it is during the week.
Yeah. So we come to the Amidah, and please rise in spirit or in physically. Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufi Agi Tehilatecha. Open my lips, beloved one, and let my mouth declare your praise. And let's take some time in silence, reading, or just with yourself.
Shalom. 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 Shalom.
So we have about a 3-hour devar. I hope you're ready for that. I thought this was my big chance. No.
I'd like to
Do you want to
share
say something?
first? Yeah. So I was so interested in Henry's question about moments, why the use of that word rather than a time. And it fit very much with the theme of Sukkot for me. And I received this poem yesterday that will relate and fit in with Rick's story. It's called Under a Fragile Thatched Roof by Simcha Paul Raphael. And he works with people dying, and he's a scholar who's looked at Jewish attitudes and beliefs around death and dying and afterlife. So he writes, under a fragile thatched roof, full-breasted mother moon, and a subtle glitter band of twinkling stars transparently peek through from the heavenly spheres to this temporary, transient human realm. Naked, undefended against the elements, I sit in contemplation in this sukkah of peace, unprotected and vulnerable, in the face of life's ever-changing transitions. Knowing one turn of the cosmic clock, one subtle stopped heartbeat, an unanticipated wind of change, death, divorce, destruction, hurricane, shadow eruptions of hell, fire, flood, fatality, or fanaticism, or any one of a million other maybes, can wipe away this moment, this life, this most fragile sukkah, this life story I call my own, and bring in its wake who knows what, where, why, or why not. All I can do is live with the unfolding of the blessing and the curse, and choose life as well as I am able. So in this temporary sukkah of peace, I am reminded to harvest in holy humility, a sacred sense of how good it is to be alive, how good it is for sisters and brothers to sit, sing, and pray together as one.
So Elizabeth has mentioned a couple times this evening Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, who at one time was the chief rabbi of England. And he passed away about 3 or 4 years ago, I guess. About 3 or 4 years ago he passed away. Yeah. He tells this story that soon after he and his wife had married, they bought a house. And he was not someone who was a very practical person with his hands, or very handy. He had never, ever built a sukkah in his life. And here they had a house, and he needed to build a sukkah, but he had a problem. He didn't own a car, so he had no way to go get materials. And it turned out his neighbor, he was talking with him, and he was getting ready to go to the timber yard to buy materials for his sukkah. And he saw his neighbor's plans. They were like from an architectural drawings. They were very precise. There was doors, there were windows built into it. It was the kind of structure you could probably live in for the rest of your life, probably very comfortably. But his friend offered to bring him to the timber yard to buy some things. And when he got there, his friend had a very detailed list of all the things, all the nails and the joiners and the 2x4s and the planks and all the things. And Rabbi Sachs had no list. So he looked around and he got a few plywood boards, plywood sheets, and a couple 2x4s and bought some nails. His friend went back to his house and went to work, and he could hear the nailing, and he somehow was able to cobble together these 3 boards into a structure, and he built it up kind of against the house, and it was so unstable that he nailed it to the house, just to keep it from not falling down. And that night, they had the first night of Sukkah, and it looked like a cardboard box pretty much, but it did the job. He went by the next morning to look at his friends, and it really was a work of tremendous art. The workmanship was amazing, and later that day, a storm came through England, and one of these terrible, horrific storms, probably with 60-mile-an-hour gales. And of course, they couldn't celebrate Sukkah in the Sukkah that night. And the next morning, he's in shul, and his friend comes into shul with a really downtrodden look on his face. He says, "What's the problem?" He says, "My Sukkah was just completely trashed by that storm. It's completely collapsed." And Rabbi Sachs, he kind of smiled because his Sukkah somehow, miraculously, had withstood the storm. And he told his friend this. His friend couldn't believe it. He could not believe, how is it possible that this sort of makeshift sukkah somehow managed not to be blown down? He says, "I've got to see this." And he came over and he's marveling at this, and he's trying to examine it, trying to see what is it that he did with this thing that it was able to withstand the storm. And he looked very closely and he saw that it was hammered to the wall of the house with one nail. One nail. And he's looking at that nail, and he suddenly has a realization that that things that are temporary need to somehow be attached to things that are more permanent. And then he has a deeper realization, is that thing that we need in the midst of all the impermanence is faith. And that's the story.
Ashika.
Take about 2 minutes.
Yes.
An important history of CBH.
Oh, great.
So in 1996, CBH built its first sukkah. And it happened to be in my backyard. Not in the house where I live now, but it was on wheat fields in Decatur. And the way we did it is some of us went out to Home Depot and we bought PVC pipe, enough, in joints, and we tied it to my deck. The deck was raised, so it was tied, and the reason, and then we had like a potluck, and lots of people came, and the reason I thought about it right now, other than the fact that it's Sukkot, is because that was the first time I laid eyes on Bill and Rina. Oh. The very first time I met you was at my house. It was you, and then there was Faye Dresner was another one. That was the very first time. But that was the very first sukkah, and I don't know how old Noah was, but he was little. How old was he in 96?
7.
Right, right. That big.
35.
Right. So, just wanted to
You tied it to the permanent deck.
We tied it to the permanent deck, and we kept the PVC pipe for years. And until we got to the point where we had this, it was that PVC pipe.
You ought to take a look at the construction that Craig put together out here with ladders.
He's a pro.
It's an amazing construction.
3 or 4 years later, he took over and he's doing
Praise Craig.
No, Noah was just running around. There were lots of kids, and there was a large backyard, and there was a peach tree there, and there must have been a dozen kids about his age, so he didn't criticize the engineering. Only mom, I guess.
And that's why Hashem made PVC pipe.
Well, luckily none of those kids were harmed or anyone else, but so I'm going to pass this to you, or you want to use your blue microphone, because we're gonna do our Misha Berak for healing next.
Okay. Yeah, so we thought we would do this sort of as a chant call and response. I'll sing it, you guys sing it back, and Elizabeth will read the list of people that are on our Misha Berak prayers right now, our intentions, and then if you have anyone, just stand up and say their name, okay? Or sing with me, and some people sing it back. Misha Berak Avotenu Kor HaChaim Ve'imotenu Hu Yevarech Va'ir Afeh Et HaCholim El Narifana
Scott Epstein, Ali Sharman, Mark Podhäuser, Roseanne Glick, Patty Johnson, Victoria Isbitzer, John Isbitzer, Carl Pruitt, Bowen Harbach, Anna Levy Sprigg, Ruth Canfer, Neil Mayer, Dory Perling, Nancy Rose Bloom, Sharon Brownstein, Melissa Sachs, Reb Zev Chaim Foyer, Rich Teljohan, Randy Foster, Ava Kotlia, Susan Birch, Sarah Kaplak, Terry Egdahl, Hannah Gelbart, Richard Anzalone, Mildred Anzalone, Rachel Hahn, Marjorie Osheroff, Jan Levy, Jean Kablak, Jackie Sherman,
Gertrude Bronstein, Stan Bronstein, Jackie Leary, Ken Saffron, Mike Hausman, Sarah Seidler, Marjorie Adler, Susan Birch,
Dion Baldry, echoing. Yes, yes.
And I'll read from the Zoom family. There's Susan Birch, Gary and Howie, Jackie, Margie, Yolanda, students from AHS, hostages, GV, Nancy K, Ukraine, mass shootings, gun violence. And then our on Miracle says Margie, Howie, and Gary, Susan, Jackie, Yolanda, Callie, Stephen and Cherie, Peggy, the youth and staff of Oasis Youth Center, the youth at the Loft Shelter, people affected by war, violence, climate change, bipolar disorder, and all mentioned. And Barbara lists Habiba, Ziva, Hillel, Steve, Margie E., Margie H., Sandra, David, Victoria, Paul, Amichal, Susan, Ned, Kristen, and Gary.
Thank you.
Mishabera Avotenu Kor HaChaim Ve'imotenu Hu Yevarech Va'yirafeh Et HaCholim Et HaCholim Et HaCholim Et HaCholim En Arifanala En Arifanalo En Arifanali En Arifanalo En Arifanala En Arifanalo En Arifanalanu En Arifanali.
So next up is our, yes? Yes, prayer for the end of hiding. I just want to make sure I was doing the right thing. Prayer for the end of hiding. And so if there is someone who, wants to read the prayer for the end of hiding.
Oh, can you hear me through the mask? Okay? Okay, all right, great. The prayer is on the inside back cover of your prayer book. And please join me. As LGBTQ Jews, we are aware of the loss of integrity we suffer due to the pressures of the larger society. We often feel forced into a dishonest presentation of ourselves to ourselves and others. The LGBTQ individuals who feel they must pretend to be something that they are not. The Jews who feel they must be alienated from their tradition and community to win larger acceptance. Both are victims of a theft of identity and integrity committed by the sexual, gender-identifying, or religious majority. Creator of the universe, we ask that our hiding draw to an end, that we no longer feel we have to pretend, to promise falsely, to renounce ourselves, and that our fullest creative expression as Jews and as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people be among the blessings you bestow upon us. Amen.
Thank you. So we're going to turn to page 121. Here. There we go. Please join me and rise for the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latekdu la tiotzer breshit, shenatan lanu Torah temet, B'chaye olam nata b'tochenu, v'anachnu korin umishtakavinu modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlakim hakadosh baruch hu. Kakatuv b'torateka Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. And here it is for real. V'nemar v'chaya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad. Please be seated.
So, is there anyone here who is in a period of mourning or acknowledging a yard site? No? Okay, no, unusual. What about anyone on Zoom?
Yes, Susan Birch does.
Susan Birch does. Is
Yes.
she yet?
Thank you so much.
Susan adds Alex Horowitz, Vance Dietz, Harriet Gold, Jay Rothbaum, students who perished from Appalachia High School, hostages, gun violence victims, Ukraine, and mass shootings. Mariana lists Ophelia Riquelme.
So, yes.
And all those who, without our prayers, we have no memorial.
Amen.
Thank you. So let's, all those who want to just stand.
Page 131. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divra chirute ve'amlich malchute, ve'chayechon u'yomechon u'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala u'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah v'varach al'olam almea maya, Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei kedusha b'richu le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen.
So the announcements are to thank all those who made this possible tonight, to Emily, and she's in the back. She's making something else possible, and for all her work she put in, but just on all of you for showing up, and for all you bring here together to in our making a community together. And the announcements are to do with the other things happening this week in the Sukkah. So Bill, the event got cancelled, right? It's not, okay, so no. Okay, so, but on You've got
Yeah, so I remember, I think. So Sunday, for all the D&D players out there, there's Sukkah and Dragons in the Sukkah, yes. And then on Monday is the Sukkah sing-along, 6 o'clock and ish, and going on till I think people are tired of it. Will be there playing guitar, and other instrumentalists are welcome to bring their instruments or their voices. And then I know that there's a luncheon on Wednesday.
Wednesday is a sort of casual, bring your own lunch to sit
in the sukkah
together.
And then Thursday
all this
morning.
is on the website.
Yeah, it's all on the website, so hopefully we're not getting it wrong. But Thursday is, well, Mindful Moments will be in the sukkah, I believe, Thursday morning, chant, and then Yizkor service. And beyond that, I don't know.
I think that's it. And
And Simchat Torah.
So Thursday night.
Thursday night, yes. And did you have something you wanted to add?
I knew there was something.
Yeah, Simchat Torah. So come enjoy and celebrate. And then, yes, thank you, fellow service leaders.
Thank you all.
Elizabeth, Rick, Amy. I'm Adina.
And Adina.
And we'll end with Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Hey, thank you, Henry.
Thank you all.
We're going to kiddush outside. Thank you all on Zoom. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you.
On Zoom, y'all.
Good Shabbos.
Monday night, yeah.
I don't need this, right?
That'd be fun. Bring your drum.
Whoops, wherever it is.